Welcome to our guest, the comedian Lucy Porter, motivational speaker and author Chris Barres-Brown, fireworks expert John Culverhouse and football coach Francesca Brown. Most people then dream, and we've just been hearing Chris talking about it, people dream then of turning a hobby into a profession. Do something you love, they say, as you will never be working. Well, John Culverhouse is someone lucky enough to be doing just that. He's a pyrotechnician, although I'm sure you didn't think of it like that, John, when you were a young boy looking at fireworks. It didn't have such a fancy name then, I bet.
No, I never really gave that a thought when I was growing up in Bucks with my mum, and my early recollections were of bonfire night and big parties in the garden with toffee apples and popcorn, and that exciting moment when the first fireworks would be lit and they'd shoot up into the sky. And I don't know why, but it just captured my imagination.
Everyone loves a good firework, but you've gone on to make it your profession.
Yes, I mean, I think we're all sitting around the table wondering how did we get to where we are today, and quite often it's purely by chance.
Because you were a Fleet Street journalist.
Yeah, my first love was after university. I went into newspapers. I started off with a really terrific job on the Exeter Express and Echo as their film and drama critic. And in between time, visiting village fetes and going to the local magistrates' courts and doing all that reporting that, when you look back on it, is the best job in the world. But if you work in local newspapers, as I did back in the 70s, the holy grail is Fleet Street, as it was, and getting a job on a national newspaper was what any ambitious guy wanted to do. And so I got my big chance when I got a job as a sub-editor on the Daily Mail sports desk in the days of Sir David English, who was the legendary editor of the Mail at the time. And getting to Fleet Street was a fantastic experience, and you mixed with people who, I don't know, when you grow up, you read the papers and you see all these bylines of, and this is so-and-so reporter and that reporter, and you're now meeting them, you're meeting your heroes. And it was a great period for me in the 80s at the Mail. So what prompted you to leave? Well, very good question. I think there comes a time in everybody's life when you think, where is this leading? And I'd been a sub on the Mail and a reporter. I reported a lot of football matches on Saturday, so it was a nice job, but you felt there was got to be something else. There's that inner drive in you. Is there something else out there I should be doing? That little voice telling you. And I didn't know what it could possibly be, but one year, that 1981, by that time I got a family, and I was in a Harpenden in a toy shop, and I saw these exotic-looking German fireworks. Now, if you've grown up in that period, the local firework names were Standard and Astor and Brox, and here was a German firework called, I remember it vividly, Tolly Lola Raketa mit Schrillem Pfeifenausstieg. Now, what the heck does that mean?
Which means, yeah.
But it sounds great. I'll go in and buy them. So I took these fireworks home and I let them off in the garden for my two boys. And this thing went off with talk about a rocket. It went up with a hell of a racket. And I thought, wow, this is great. I wonder where these have come from. And the importer had put his name on the firework. And so I phoned him up and said, amazing fireworks. There might be a story here I could write for the Daily Mail, because I did a bit of freelance contributing. And so he said, well, yeah, I'm bringing these things in from Germany and they're going really well and this, that and the other. And so I said, well, I'll write a story about this. So on the 5th of November 1981, this story appeared in the Mail that German rockets threaten Britain again. And, the Mail-type treatment of that sort of story. And the importer was so chuffed with all the publicity he got that he phoned me up and said, wow, terrific, thanks very much. And I said, couldn't send me any free samples, could you? The next day or a few days later, I came home from work and the garage was loaded with the most exotic Aladdin's cave of fireworks that I'd ever seen. And, of course, it was past November the 5th then, so the next big event was New Year's Eve. So I invited all the neighbours round and I had this most amazing fireworks party. Must have been sort of December the 31st, 1981 or thereabouts. And apart from the fact that one rocket went through somebody's greenhouse window and brought a very irate neighbour round, the party went with a bang, as they say. And I decided, I wonder if you could make a business out of selling fireworks all the year round, because, at that time, like a lot of things, we were locked into an event, November the 5th, bonfire night. And I thought that, and this is wearing my sort of marketing cap because I'm very much into opportunities, I suppose. And I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose here. I could get these fireworks from this importer, advertise them, and see what happens. And of course, I started putting adverts in magazines like Private Eye, fireworks, for your party. And so the phone starts ringing. I didn't know you get fireworks in July and this time of thing. So we started selling fireworks because I had a night job at the Mail. Didn't need to go in until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Had all day to develop the business, and so I'm delivering fireworks, getting more and more calls, organised displays.
And was there one particular job that really launched you as a business when you thought, actually, I can make this a sustainable, viable proposition?
Well, I think that came in about 1990, 91 when Sky launched their Monday Night Football. And, of course, this was a good sort of combination of sport and fireworks. And they wanted to launch Monday Night Football with a bang. So we got sent to, we were going to Manchester City. That was the first one. And then Southampton and Arsenal, Coventry, all the what used to be the first division football clubs. And that really put us on the map.
There will be people shouting at the radio, John, right now who say that fireworks, they're all, you hear them throughout the year. And not only is it slightly annoying, it's also, it takes a specialness away from them. Obviously you're not going to agree with that because it's your job, but do you see where people are coming from? It used to be, it's a kind of special nostalgic thing, and now it's all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't really buy that. I think fireworks are an entertainment now, and they're at weddings. Lots of, we get so many brides and grooms wanting fireworks. It's a special moment for their weddings. But of course, there are hundreds and thousands of weddings in the country, so you can't say, well, I'm only going to do this one or that one to keep it special. You've got to, it's market driven. And so people want fireworks, and the internet now has opened it up to a massive community.
Are there silent fireworks now for those if you are living in built-up areas with, I read about people talking about silent fireworks.
We do. We get a lot of venues which have, in the middle of built-up areas that are what we call noise sensitive, and they ask us, can we have quiet fireworks? So we've built up a really good portfolio of quiet fireworks that don't rattle the window panes and don't scare your pets.
Why didn't you go to one that was supposed to be silent, Kate?
I thought you might. Yes, no. I went last year and took my very young children, and it was advertised as a silent firework party, and it was anything but. So I don't know whether they got the wrong fireworks, or I just thought, really, seriously, silent fireworks. And of course, my children
don't know until they let them off, though, do they?
Well, these were blooming loud.
They should do.
And there were about 1,000 screaming children. But
that shouldn't happen.
Right.
We've been in the business 30 years.
Yes, how technical is it now compared with the days of the match and the blue touch paper?
Well, absolutely. Like the blue touch paper and retire is an expression you don't hear very much these days, because the development of computer-fired fireworks now is highly sophisticated, and you've got software programs that help you design the entire display on screen. You can then press a button and watch a simulation of it and tweak it to get that bang right on the beat of the music.
That's taken the magic away for me. But I'm glad to hear it's all under control. Very briefly, where will you be tonight then if you've got a display?
I'm heading off down to Cornwall in a minute to a big display in Mullion where a gentleman's celebrating his 70th birthday, and he's going to have it with a massive bang on the coast. So that's where I shall be.
Well, happy birthday to him, and I hope that all goes well tonight. Thanks very much for joining us, John. We are here, of course, until 10:30.